Smokers alert, find out which 10 public transport facilities has become no-smoking areas. More than a quarter of some 1,800 surveyed school kids say they're under moderate or even severe depression. Good evening. You're watching Cable News. I'm Jeremy Zhu. In its continuous efforts to bring down the city's smoking rate, the government has designated 10 more public transport facilities as no-smoking areas with immediate effect. The Exhibition Center Station Public Transport Interchange in Wan Chai is one of the newly designated no-smoking zones. The prohibited area covers the entire bus terminus and MTR station exits. Signage indicating no smoking has been prominently displayed on railings and on the ground, while ashtrays on bins have been sealed. During a half-hour observation at the site, most smokers were seen following the rules by smoking outside the designated zone. However, despite clear markings, some still find the regulations confusing. This man said he still didn't know where the smoke-free area was. There's no choice but to comply, he added. If the government insists, we'll follow. I just won't smoke in the restricted areas. Nevertheless, many support the expansion of no-smoking areas. This woman stated the policy is definitely good. Smoking harms health, so fewer people smoking is naturally better. This man said he thinks this will improve the air quality. I don't smoke and dislike the smell, he added. Another man expressed strong support, emphasizing that the dangers of secondhand smoke are severe. Smoking leads to lung cancer. I've lost many friends due to smoking, so I don't advocate it, he said. With the 10 additional locations, Hong Kong now has 272 public transport facilities designated as no-smoking zones. Smoking within these areas may result in a fixed penalty fine of $1,500. Amid the start of a new academic year, parents and teachers in the city are prompted to pay extra attention to the mental health of school children, as over a quarter of surveyed students reported that they're struggling with moderate to severe levels of depression, mainly due to academic procrastination. Evelyn Bai shares the findings.
The survey conducted by Baptist Oi Kwan Social Service from last November to March this year received responses from over 1,800 secondary school students. The findings indicate that their well-being levels remain similar to last year, with the average score of well-being hovering at 2.9 out of 5. Nearly one-third of students reported ideal level of well-being, up 7.3% from the previous year. Over 40% of students expressed dissatisfaction with their time management, followed by academic performance, in line with last year's survey findings. It also found that 30% of students struggle with academic procrastination, with high school students more likely to experience this situation. Those with procrastination issues tended to report higher levels of depression, anxiety, and stress. Jeff Kay, clinical psychologist of Baptist Oi Kwan Social Service, recommends stressed secondary students try alternative activities, such as playing games or going outdoors, to release emotion rather than keeping their feelings inside. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
Meanwhile, students in the city are reminded to set out early tomorrow, which marks the start of the new school term. As heavier traffic is anticipated on the first day of school, the Emergency Transport Coordination Center will operate at the highest level under a joint steering mode, working closely with police and major public transport operators to monitor traffic conditions in real time. Staff will be deployed to key transport hubs, stations, tunnels, school zones, and border crossings for on-the-ground monitoring. Meanwhile, public transport operators will increase frequency and deploy additional standby services as needed, while special routes serving school areas will also resume. Police Commissioner Zhou Chao has confirmed that an off-duty male police officer suspected of having been taken to a scam compound in Cambodia is currently located in the Southeast Asian country and is safe. The force has dispatched officers there to ascertain the situation. Speaking to the press, Chao stated that further details would only be known after police colleagues arrived on the ground, at which point they would be shared with the public. He added that there was no immediate operational deployment at this stage. The officer had previously contacted the Immigration Department regarding this case to seek assistance. A government spokesperson earlier said that upon receiving the request for help, the authority had immediately liaised with relative parties to understand the situation and provided feasible support. The Immigration Department will continue to follow up on the matter. 4 pupils and a woman died in a residential fire in Taoyuan City of Taiwan this morning, just one day before the new school term starts. The fire broke out at around 5 a.m. in Taoyuan's Zhongli district, prompting the fire department to dispatch 27 fire trucks, 7 medical ambulances, and 79 firefighters to the scene. The blaze was extinguished approximately 45 minutes later. Firefighters found 5 people had died at the scene, with 4 being children aged between 9 and 10 years old and 1 in her 30s. The exact cause of the fire is still under further investigation. The Taoyuan Department of Education said it will assist the families with follow-up matters and provide counseling to the classes attended by 4 deceased children. Protests have again erupted across the United Kingdom over the government's policy of housing asylum seekers in hotels. This comes after the Court of Appeal on Friday overturned a temporary injunction that blocked a hotel in Essex from being used for this purpose. Beslan reports.
It's totally peaceful, sir.
In West Drayton, near London's Heathrow Airport, over 500 people, many carrying St. George's flags, protested outside a designated asylum hotel. A masked group attempted to break through the hotel's security fencing. 2 police officers were slightly injured, and 5 individuals were arrested on suspicion of assaulting police and violent disorder. A similar scene unfolded in Falkirk, Scotland, where protesters and counter-protesters faced off. Demonstrators criticized the government's immigration policy, while solidarity groups argued that asylum seekers were being unfairly blamed for wider societal problems. The wave of protests was triggered by a recent court ruling. A local council in Epping, Essex, had successfully obtained a High Court injunction to stop a hotel from housing asylum seekers after an occupant was charged with a serious sexual offense. However, the Court of Appeal overturned the ruling, stating that the ban failed to consider the significant challenges of relocating the individuals. Minister for Border Security and Asylum Angela Eagle acknowledged that using hotels is not a sustainable solution and has committed to a planned closure of these asylum hotels before the end of the current parliamentary term. Beslan Cable News.
Washington is reportedly moving ahead with plans to rename the Department of Defense as the Department of War, a title last used until 1947. U.S. President Donald Trump said he prefers War Department because it sounds stronger and reflects America's historic military victories. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth confirmed the change is coming soon, emphasizing a desire for a more offensive military posture. However, the name switch would likely require congressional approval since the Department of Defense was created by law in 1949. Republicans in Congress have introduced amendments supporting the move, but challenges remain. The rebranding means significant changes in official documents, signs, and military references nationwide. The Congress will likely debate this proposal in the coming weeks. Of China's 56 ethnic groups, the critically endangered Oroqen in northern Inner Mongolia is drawing national attention to its vanishing heritage. This came after a short video of an Orokan grandma singing their ancient folk music went viral in 2024, captivating millions with its haunting purity and sparking a cultural resurgence. Quentin Yang has the story.
At the age of 81, Ne Shumei, among the last tradition bearers of the Orokan group, gained herself a large group of fans after a video of her singing Zandaran, the Orokan's ancient folk music, went viral last year. Now, tourists flock to Inner Mongolia's remote forests just to hear her perform. With fewer than 10,000 members, the Orokan are one of China's smallest ethnic minorities. Their culture, rooted in the primeval forests of the greater Hingan Mountains, lacks a written language, relying entirely on oral traditions like Zandaran to transmit history, skills, and spiritual wisdom. When we are happy, we sing what we see, Ne explains. These songs are gifts from our elders in the forest. We cannot forget them. Ne's rise is intertwined with Beijing filmmaker Li Jingyan, who arrived a decade ago to document fading Orokan traditions and never left. An elder is a living museum, Li said. Every day feels like racing against time. His 2022 video of Ne, praised for its youthful beauty, ignited her unexpected stardom. Once reclusive, she now eagerly performs daily. If there is an event, call me. As long as I can move, I'll sing. The kids love it, Ne said. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
On to the weather now. Mainly cloudy with a few showers. More showers with thunderstorms in some areas at first tomorrow. Very hot with sunny periods during the day. Temperatures will range between 27 and 33 degrees. That's our news tonight. I'm Jeremy Zhu. Thanks for watching and good night.